bored of getting out of here. So, but yeah, next move should. I mean, it's probably just like checking that door right outside, and if that doesn't lead us out, backtracking then.
That sound good to you, Jinx?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we necessarily missed anything. I think maybe we just got here a bit late. I mean, we could double back, but I can't imagine making it past that beast again. It might still be agitated, so I think that's sort of an impasse. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to find a good way out of here, but I think at least for now, try to push forward rather than going back.
Well, then let's see if we can't get that door open and hope it leads somewhere better than where we're coming from. You got this, Gale, or you want Seamus to try and give it a shot?
I mean, I got this. I hope. But yeah, I think as soon as like out in the hallway, Gale is gonna cast knock on the door.
Gotcha. What kind of formation do you guys want to kind of have here? Do you want to place your actual miniatures sort of in that same positioning? Do you want to just have it like theoretical at first? What are you thinking?
So I think Davros will want to be, close up to the front beside Gale. Seamus will back off a little bit after, Gale indicates that he can take care of the door. Um, I think Floris will also be back a little bit, probably like kind of crossbow at the ready, trained on the door. Um, yeah, that's it for my three, I think.
Is there any reason to give you bardic inspiration? Does that help with knock at all, or is not really like that?
I mean, knock is yes. Either it works or it doesn't.
Okay, I think I'll sort of like position, or I'll just move my guy.
You also don't have to touch it, Gale, so you don't have to be up there.
Oh right, it's 60 feet. Yeah. Immediately move back.
What's the best way to defeat lock or knock? Multiple locks.
Yeah, okay. So Terry's just gonna be like positioned in case that demon like suddenly like starts paying attention. And I think Jinx is kind of like lingering around that corner too.
Gotcha. And you got Neffy like right in the corner of that door sill, basically.
Yeah, she's like out of sight, but still like kind of has like visibility on the party.
Okay, so when you are prepared and everybody's ready, um, yeah, I think as far as things go, again, you guys are like once you leave the tiny hut, it's back to that deafening noise. When I say it's lesser here, it's a little bit more that you can hear like your inner ear kind of effects like from yourself, and then that you guys can actually talk in this place. The actual machine is still effectively deafening all of you here. So it's still kind of a thing where Davros is like maybe watching for Gale to start casting the spell, which is verbal components. So you're basically just waiting for Gale to start speaking, and then you're kind of like looking back at the door. You're not going to hear what he says. You're not going to hear when he finishes the incantation. But there is going to be a point maybe where you look back, see Gale speaking, you look towards the door, don't see anything change, look back, see Gale isn't speaking. Do you try the door?
Yes. Once he sees Gale seems to have stopped speaking, he will try the door.
Excellent. So, as you try the door opens with no effect, with no problem. And you are going to see 10 creatures standing in a circle in the center of this room, and I need you to roll initiative. All these creatures are just staring at this puddle of black, like goo, that's in this massive cauldron in the center of this room. They're all standing around it. Let's pretend it's a circle, but let's be honest, we're in squares, so circles don't really work all that well. But they're basically just standing around this black circle, and again, you can't hear it. They all seem to be sort of deathly bodies, almost like cold blue skin. There's no signs of like red blood flowing through their flesh. These are all relatively humanoid bodies. They're all kind of standing there. As far as things go, I think you guys can probably recognize these for being undead. And they're just standing there. Their mouths are moving as they kind of chant, and this black puddle or pool of goo is like bubbling forth. Not necessarily like overflowing, but it's kind of like rising and like popping. You're not necessarily hearing the pops, but you're watching as these bubbles almost like defy gravity, as like these globules like raise up into the air and then like pop out with splashes as if it's like boiling black tar.
All right. So Davros got a 7 for his initiative.
Gale got a 4.
And 10 for Jinx.
I don't know what I was hoping to find behind this door, but this was not it.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely.
my apologies there. I was filling out my NPCs there. Um, were any of you 20 or higher?
No, Jinx was the highest with a 10.
Okay, 10 is your highest.
Yeah.
And then who was next out of you guys?
Davros had a 7, and Chris, I think he said Gale had a 4.
Yeah, that's right.
What's your dexterity, Jinx?
Dex is 16 or plus 3.
Excellent. So son of a bitch. I did not mean to re-roll that. That's what I meant to do. Whoops. All right, so we're gonna do first, second, and fifth. All right, so the moment the door opens, Davros, you're going to see as one of these figures immediately like turns its head, its torso, its body does not move, and you just see this porcelain white face, completely emotionless, still chanting as if its mouth is moving, but there's no musculature like changing as the face moves. And you just see as it continues to chant, as this head like spins and inhumanely looks at you before it starts to move towards you, but it's like walking almost backwards with its neck like craned backward as if its neck was just snapped to look at you, and it's like walking backwards before it spins to look to you. but it is going to immediately push towards you. I guess technically you do block that door, so I'm gonna go for that. Um, and it is going to as it moves towards you and its mouth is like moving in this incantation, you just start to feel like your very sort of like vitality is like sucked out of you, and you start to see like platelets of blood almost being pulled through your skin as your skin starts to like bruise and you're like bleeding through unwounded flesh. I would like you to. Oh, let me just roll this first. To do nothing, as it is ineffectual. And then it's going to reach out and try to slash into you. This should be successful as it reaches out to cut into you, and it's going to deal 3 points of slashing damage as it reaches out to cut at you. I'm going to say at present, just with its hand. Um, but technically that was a long sword attack. But I like the idea that this one is just completely unarmed. The next one is going to follow suit, doing the same thing where you effectively have that door blocked. As it approaches you, your essence is kind of sucked through. Does a 14 hit you?
No.
All right. And you start to see is like there's subsurface like bruising of your flesh as your blood is almost like pulled out of the veins. Not enough that you are actually wounded by it. And then this one too is going to almost try to claw out at you. I'm pretty sure a 21 should be effective. And it's going to hit you for 12 slashing damage from this one as it cuts into you.
All right.
You'll see two more of these don't really seem to react to you all entering the room yet. Um, and then one more is going to react. Let's see. Can I get it to you? Yeah, I think at present I'm just going to have it kind of pushing towards the door, but not really able to get to you here. Oh, wait, no, I don't need it to. I can have it take a shot at you. Um, as it kind of like moves and crawls over the other ones, you see as this one kind of reaches out, and like these like black specks of its flesh almost start to like come out of its hand and start to shoot towards you. And it's going to take 2 shots at you. Does the 17, the lowest of these, hit?
Yes, that just hits.
So it is going to do 2d8 plus 4 with 2 hits. So it's going to do a total of 10 damage as like parts of its flesh almost like pierce through your skin, and you feel. Again, this is just kind of a reflavored sort of like arrow strike as this thing's kind of like reaching out and its undead flesh is piercing through your body and cutting into your flesh. And then there's more of these creatures don't seem to be reacting right away, but it's going to go to Jinx.
Okay, so I guess I see Davros open up the door and can see at least like something going on there is attacking him. So
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
on some level, part of what I was getting at is because these things are in the process of a ritual, you are somewhat surprising them. those are just the three who you guys are effectively not um like the other five that follow uh aren't rolling on the same level. But like Jinx, you're starting the initiative here. Those three were just not affected by it, kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead. My apologies. I wanted to kind of explain why three of the five active.
Oh no, you're good. So yeah, I guess like seeing that there's some action and the door is open, I'm just gonna like glance back at that creature and then I'll come over and prepare a spell. And then I think once I get to about here and I can see that there's a ton more of them inside the room, I will pull out like a little glowing crystal and you'll see like some smoke coming off of it and then I'll throw like a phosphorescent ball into the room and it will start like swirling around in a circle and I'm going to cast hypnotic pattern like right in the center of all of them. So that
Gotcha.
is if they can be it's a wisdom 16 save, and it is a charm spell, I think, so I don't know if that affects undead necessarily. But it's a 30-foot cube. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Everybody inside that 30-foot cube makes a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they become charmed for the duration, and while charmed, they have a speed of 0 and are incapacitated. And I'm aiming at like the main cluster of them, probably not going to be able to hit the two right in the front.
Okay, and it is a 30-foot cube. So I think that room, I think it's the entire room. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that is a 6 by 6 room. Yeah, I think it's not specifically in here, but that's supposed to be a 6 by 6 room. So yeah, you can hit all of them. So
And it's wisdom 16.
do you see the numbers? Hit the breakdown of my roll there. I have two that are over 10. None of them are going to pass.
No,
The
I see it. I
entire
see it.
room, the entire room is just going to stop as all of them cease to move and start to stare into the patterns blowing around and before them. Chaos was the right choice.
Okay, so that was my action. Yeah, so I think I'm good with that.
Oh, disarming an entire encounter isn't sufficient?
I mean, I don't
Oh,
want to get greedy.
what do you want to do with what do you got? You've got Terry and Neff? Yeah. What do you want to do with Terry and Neff?
So assuming at this point the creature to the left has it responded or anything? You want to
Uh,
bring in the goat demon?
oh no, no. Part of the thing is like I said this about the noise and I'm living by it. The noise is one of those things that is changing a lot of these encounters. It has changed how you guys have reacted, and it has changed how a lot of these encounters happen. Like when you guys don't bother those things, you might be missing out on things, you might not be missing out on things, but those don't necessarily have a reason to recognize you guys.
Okay, so I think Terry's kind of like ready for that thing to turn around, like I wish you would, and then sees like nothing happens, and Jinx sort of like signals him over when he looks back. So I'll have Terry come up like right next to Davros, and then he'll go for an attack against the blue-looking creature right there.
Excellent.
So it should hit with like 26 and 27.
Oh yeah, these things are not heavily armored creatures.
And I completely forgot what he rolls, so hang on one sec.
What is it, 2d6?
Yeah, I wanted to say it was 2d6, but I feel like I always roll the wrong thing. Yeah, it's a d12. Okay. Nice. 2 11s. So +5 each attack. So 10 plus 22. So 32 total magic damage.
That's from 2 different attacks, though?
Yeah, that's 2 different attacks at the blue one.
What was the higher of those 2? What was the first attack?
Oh, they were both 11s, so it would be
Okay,
a
okay, you rolled 11
16
each
for
time, so
each.
16 and 16. I gotcha.
Yeah, just randomly rolled like almost exactly the same to hit and damage.
I gotcha. Yeah, if you did 21 with the first one, it would have been one of those potentially stunning attacks, is why I asked. So yeah, 32 damage.
Yep, 32 damage for Terry. And then I think Neffy is going to I think she's just gonna hang back for a second here.
Got you. Like holding a reaction, or is she just like dodging? Um,
I think she would like get ready with a potion in case because she can't really see what's going on. She knows obviously there's some kind of battle going on. So I think like if someone like gets like brutalized or something like that, she's like preparing to like go heal them. But otherwise it's kind of just like hanging back right now.
Gotcha. So she's pulled a potion. She can use a bonus action to feed somebody a potion here if she gets in contact with them. Um, Otherwise, effectively, she's got to use a free action to kind of stow it next time. I don't think any of that would really change her as an NPC, but let's just kind of say that's essentially what she's doing at present. The blue one that Terry did attack is effectively bloodied here. Again, these are undead creatures and they don't really have blood flowing through their flesh. So let's say like some of the like hacks into it with his sword have like thoroughly cut through like the bone, and it's almost clinging on just with like cartilage and like dried almost like beef jerky like musculature. But that should take us to Davros.
And keep in mind also, whenever someone attacks one of those creatures, or they wake up, or if another creature spends an action to like shake them up.
Oh, do they get to save again? Like when Terry attacks it, does it save again, or is it just freed from it? Is that
No,
what you
as
mean?
soon as they, yeah, as soon as someone attacks them, they just immediately wake up. So,
Gotcha.
or as soon as they take any damage. So, as soon as they're damaged, or if a creature spends an action to shake them.
All right, so Davros kind of after he takes a kind of a few of these slices from these things, his focus is on these two in front of him, so he may not immediately realize just how successful Jinx's spell was, but he is going to, seeing Terry kind of cutting into the one in blue. Davros will follow suit, so he will focus his attacks on that one as well.
Gotcha. So you know it's bloodied. Do you want to split your attacks and try to put one on each, or do you want to make sure to kill this thing before you attack the other one?
I think the first two he's gonna focus on this one with both. Depending on how
Gotcha.
it goes, I may action surge, but
Gotcha.
um,
That's kind of how I prefer with melee combat, is that you say, look, I'm going to attack with both of them on this, or I'm going to attack one and one, because you don't really know when it's going to die. But I specifically know that that creature is possibly going to die after your first strike here. But 2 strikes into it should kill it. I think both of those were pretty solid hits. What do you got to hit
uh,
there?
Yeah, so that would be I think 20 is the lowest.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
That'll be for a total of 21 damage.
Yep. So that's just going to smash through that one. And again, you guys are at a state essentially there where the remaining 9 are all still entranced by the psychic pattern.
Yeah, so Davros is also going to, so he's going to bonus action second wind, trying to kind of recover some of his strength as he kind of finishes cutting this first one down. So that will be, yeah, okay. All right, so it gets back 11. Yeah, and I think he is going to, as he kind of cuts it down, he's going to move forward. Seeing the, uh, he also wants to make room for the other. So he's going to action surge and take 2 attacks against the
All
kind
right,
of the
I got to
porcelain.
hold you to the same rule here. They were able to get held in the door by you being on the other side of it. I can't let you walk through until you kill this other one.
Oh, right. Okay, yep. Yeah, so he will action surge, and yeah, again, same idea, trying to make room so we can get into the door. We'll take 2 swings at the porcelain faced one. One crit and 1 crit fail. So that would be for, let's see, 17 plus 2d6. So 25 on the one hit.
Let's see. Roll a d10 for me.
2.
But I like the idea that like the crit fail like accidentally wakes up like another one.
Uh, So yeah, this is one of those ones where you're not specifically dealing like necessarily like all of its hits to this creature. But it is, I don't know, system shock on undead is kind of a weird thing to explain perhaps. But it is one of those things where 2 essentially knocks a creature to 0 hit points, but stable. As far as things go on this one, it's just kind of returning to a sort of like undead, like almost catatonic state. But I'm going to mark it as dead because that is a part of the part of the bonuses of using the system shock rule.
All right, and I'm thinking almost like Davros trying to almost like bull rush his way in, like taking this like massive kind of maybe like uppercut swing and like almost kind of cutting through, um, like almost almost completely through its body and kind of forcing his way in with his movement. Um, and that will be it for him. He
Gotcha. You almost like just bisect it to the point where like the body is still there, kind of like twitching because it is still like this animated undead flesh. But you've like completely separated the spine where this thing like can't actually act on these like unnatural causes that are trying to make it still hunt the living flesh. But yeah, you guys now have entry here, and what do you have? Seamus and are you Floor?
Yes, Floor and
All right, keep
Seamus.
in mind that Floor does have the spider legs attached now.
Right. Okay. So she is going to um, just have to reacquaint myself with what that does. Okay, so she is going to scuttle um um past can she use those to like climb on walls or just
I'm
essentially
pretty
give
sure they
herself
give
the
her
height?
climbing.
Yes, it says you can climb over obstacles or low walls. Base walking speed of 40 feet.
Yeah, it's not technically a climb, but I think for what it is she can act as like a large creature for like walking around you friendly creatures.
Okay. So she is going to um yeah, she's gonna keep moving. I think this third the kind of purpley looking token one, I think that's the one she might have seen it kind of beyond, past Davros's shoulder, just making some movement to attack him. So she is going to focus on that one. I think she's going to extend the leg, or depending on the ceiling, like maybe like extend the legs to get some height, and then try to like swing down on it with her mace, almost like uh, trying to give herself a the high ground kind of thing. Uh, One critical hit, and then I think it's was 7. They don't have a big plus to hit, right?
We actually kind of switched her over from the thug as you gave her those to didn't you choose
Oh, right, the
a
barbarian Reaver, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so she's kind of a different character essentially at this point. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I didn't actually see what the low number was that you rolled. But yeah, I think as far as their to hits go, they should be whatever. I think +8 is the lowest of them.
Okay, so a 13, would that hit?
13 just misses.
Okay, so just one crit, and she
So it's going to
deals.
do 15 plus a d12.
Right. Okay, 1d12. That's what I was looking for. Okay, 18.
Well, that sucks. Excellent.
And that is her. And then Seamus is going to, in a different sort of way, kind of using his smaller stature, scuttle past Jinx, Terry, into the room. And I think he'll go low as Flora is going high, and he'll kind of almost like duck down and try to like stab with his dagger at the same creature. And that should hit for just 7 with Seamus.
Excellent. And that should take us to Gale.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I'm just gonna like. Can I even see them from there? Like, throw out a fireball from where I'm standing. It,
Fire. I mean, you can definitely see them. Did you say fireball or
oh,
firebolt?
yeah, firebolt, not fireball.
Gotcha. Are you trying to see the same one that they're attacking?
Yeah, I feel like I have to move a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that gives you a better line on it. Terry's not going to block it, but the doorway is technically going to give it some. But at this point, Davros missed with the 13. These things have 14 AC, so I'm going to count it at like 16 AC to hit it through the doorway.
Yeah, let's see then.
That should hit. I think you
Yeah,
have more than a +5. Yeah.
for 8 fire damage.
Excellent.
Then Bill will follow up. I think we'll actually just rush into the room because I feel like that's just getting very blocked. He would have to dash. Yeah, he's gonna dash in and then he's gonna just preempt the bonus action Hunter's Mark on the one we've been trying to hit so far.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't think I called it out. It might have actually been when Gale's hit there. Yeah, it actually was. Gale's hit will take that to the technically bloodied state. Again, with undead creatures, it's always kind of weird to imagine what that is. But maybe at this point, the like dried husk of this creature is all like kind of like burning cinders as the like fire damage is starting to overwhelm the necrotic magic that animates the flesh. What would you like to do with Casonia?
Oh, she's also just gonna have to rush in because she's not getting in without dashing, right?
She could get in there. That's 5. That's 25 feet.
Oh, okay. I just thought like I have to push through with between the. But yeah,
I didn't
okay.
actually pay
Oh,
attention to where Bill was, whether he actually needed to dash or not to get to just where you were.
oh, but that would have been like I think 35 feet from where he was basically.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Kasonia, I don't think we made her like any special. She's still just a thug.
I don't think you've picked one, but you're welcome to if you want to pick one on the fly right now. Otherwise, on some level, part of what it was rewarding you guys actually giving war gear to Floor. But I am perfectly fine if you actually pick um, one of the sidekicks forecasts. If you want to make the attacks with a thug now and look over the sidekicks in Discord, you're also welcome to do that as it like cycles back to you in the normal turn order.
Yeah, I think I just do that. Do a thug attack now and then cycle back.
But yeah, you could do like 2 mace attacks right now. They have like normally a +4, but we could just call it, yeah, that's gonna hit regardless. And what their maces I think do like a D8 +2, so 2 D8 +4.
So 13 total damage.
Excellent. That'll put that one mortally wounded as you smash into it. Oh wait, technically non-magical weapon, so it's going to take a reduced amount there. So we'll say it's not necessarily mortally wounded here. I thought for a second, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot all of my creatures get to go, but they don't because hypnotic spectrum. So this one is going to respond. Let me decide how smart it is. Let's see. What do we got for targets? There's 8 of you, because Neff is out of view. Hoping for a 1. That would have been Jinx. So I think that's gonna go for Cass. So the first attack on Cass with the life drain is going to hit. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw with Cass real quick. Um, 12 rolled should be good enough that we'll say that she passes this here. So it's not going to reduce her hit point maximum, but she's going to take 4 points of necrotic, as again that same sort of like bruising of her flesh, as like the blood is almost like sucked from underneath her skin and out through her veins and arteries as she approaches this creature. And then it's going to slash out at her, and that should miss. And then we'll continue on with Jinx. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm just gonna level the jolt ray emitter. And I think I've got like probably a pretty clear shot at like maybe either the white faced one or the one below it from where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you could shoot either of those with little difficulty. They're gonna have, I don't know, like one. I think 2 AC is legitimate for the doorway, to shoot through a doorway. So 16 AC to shoot at either of those.
Okay, yeah, I'll go for the white faced one and see what this thing's got. Ooh, that's gonna be a miss. The 6.
Yep, you just like blast right past and like through the door. You like melt part of the doorway, like cutting through the stone. You like hit the opposite end of the room, like shooting the laser right in front of Davros and Bill's faces, as well as like right over Terry's head. And they just see as like this stone just like melts into like magma as this laser beam like crosses by them. And no big deal to shoot that right past your friends' faces. What could go wrong?
Oh, so you like might see Jinx's mouth moving as he like talks to himself and is like, "All right, I'll make sure not to do that again." And then I'll just start my reload. And then Terry's gonna like seeing everybody else has like rushed past him. Uh,
Technically, that one doesn't have a reload.
oh, it doesn't?
Nope.
Oh, okay, that must be just like part of what was already built into it. Okay, so yeah, Terry will just run in after seeing like the whole party has flooded in now.
Yeah, that's part of where, with that ray emitter, you almost want to just focus on the actual war gear that I handed you, more than worry about what D&D Beyond has, which is also, I copied it into the description. So, like, the description or the actual war gear card is more important than what D&D Beyond has. I didn't realize the laser actually had a reload. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries, no worries. So yeah, Terry will run in and then he's gonna go for the one that's directly um east of him. All right, so the first one was nat 20, second one is a like 21 dirty. So the first one will be a
That sucks ass.
yeah, it's not bad. It's still 18 damage, pretty good. It'll be a 18 magic damage. And then the second one will be a 13. So a total of 31 magic damage against the black faced one. And then Neff, seeing like everybody has like rushed in at this point in time, will run up and try to get a piece as well. So she's gonna throw a poison bomb at the white-faced one. It hit for 6 damage and a con check.
And we said those do poison damage. And
Yeah,
does
poison damage.
hypnotic pattern breaks if they take damage?
Yeah, any damage. Yep.
They are immune to poison, so that doesn't affect it. And technically, if it fails the incapacitation, I'm not even going to roll it because it's going to get lost. I don't know. Yeah, it'll fail. So it's poisoned.
Yeah, it has like the poison condition.
Does it roll for that poisoned condition? Did we put a time limit on that, or is it just poisoned?
No, it's just a time limit. It's until my next turn. It's poison condition.
Okay. So that theoretically doesn't matter, but we'll see how that actually changes things.
And then I think after she throws the poison bomb and then realizes how ineffective it is, she's just gonna like take a step back out of the doorway in case anybody needs to go in or out. And then that's it for me.
So that'll go to Davros.
All right, Davros is moving forward, stepping up beside Terry, and he's going to take 2 swings at the one to his right, the same one that Neff just attacked.
Gotcha. Technically, the black one is like bloodied state, the one that Terry attacked.
Okay. I think he's still going to go for the other one.
Gotcha.
I'm going to use the inspiration I got last turn, so I'll make the first one with advantage. Okay, so that'll hit for. So first one's going to be for 14. And then second attack will also hit for 11. So 25 total on those 2 attacks. And that will be it for Davros.
That'll put that one in the bloodied condition.
Lore is going to keep swinging down at the one that she is. Actually, she'll probably like scuttle over here and then to kind of flank it with Cass and take 2 swings at, or yeah, I guess they would have, yeah, she would have 2. 2 swings at that one. One will critically miss, and I think, yeah, 5's not quite enough. So she will miss with both, actually.
You got that inspiration back.
Oh, yes. I will give that back to Davros.
Yeah, what is your dexterity?
For
No, my bad. This is too. Oh wait, did you go with Seamus already?
no, that was with Floor.
Okay, I got you. My bad. I think of like I think of Floor as like your third option. My bad. Go with Seamus here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Seamus is gonna move and take a stab. That should hit for 10.
That'll put that one in mortally.
Yeah, I guess his dex at this point would be for Seamus would
No,
probably be...
this is for Gale, as he's at a 4 initiative, and I have another creature at 4.
Oh, sorry, gotcha.
No, you're good. I just interrupted you because again, I was thinking floor would be the third, but it really doesn't matter for your sidekicks. Gail, what is your dexterity bonus?
Gale has a +2 from 15.
All right, yeah, so you'll go next. What would you like to do, Gail?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot down at the one that Davros hit. Gonna move in a bit first though to get a better shot. Getting a bit close, but yeah, shooting a firebolt in the face of the one just straight right of Davros.
Gotcha.
That's a 16 to hit.
Solid hit. Pretty sure you're guaranteed to kill this thing, but let's see.
12 fire damage.
Excellent. So you burn up the like dried husk of this undead humanoid.
Yeah, and then for Bill, he's gonna shoot, change his 100 marks then to the one uh, by Davros. But yeah, I thought. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he shot at the one like just east of Davros. Not
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you said just east of yourself. What'd you do total then? You did 13 damage?
12 fire damage.
Gotcha. And Bill's going to shoot at the same one?
Yeah, now if the one up because chased it because I thought it was dead, but then I was remembered. No, wait, that's not who I shot. But yeah, sorry. Bill is gonna shoot the one that you thought I previously shot at. Try to get it
Okay,
that
now
one.
you're gonna shoot the purple one with Bill. I gotcha.
Yeah, because he had like the hunter's mark on that already. Nat 20 and a 19.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, with that one, there's no need to roll damage. You are going to kill that with 2 arrows, as you basically just like pierce these right through its spine. Again, not necessarily burning the creature up, but as the arrows like pierce into it, the necrotic magic sort of dissipates, and with just like a moment, the animated flesh just kind of seizes and it just drops to the ground, the bones falling apart, no longer kind of held into their sockets by the animating characteristic of the magic.
Yeah, and then Bill will use his bonus action to move the hunter's mark to the one just east of Davros. And as for Cass, I'm just thinking it could be like any class, right? I didn't have to go like a melee class from Thug.
No, no.
Yeah, because I thought it could be fun with the Chaos Mage. She's a Chaos Cultist, Chaos Mage.
What's that actually coming from? Like, what's the like main
Uh,
class?
that's a sorcerer.
Excellent.
So this is gonna be weird. She's gonna attack the one just south of her, so I'm gonna roll a 1d4 to see what she's attacking with.
Gotcha. I mean, I assume she would normally not be in combat, so for what it's worth, if you want to start her out of combat, as you've like just picked in a character class for her, that's fine. And then if you need to make like a melee attack, you can move back into combat if you want.
Yeah, that's an acid splash.
Excellent.
I was trying to say it's
Is that a save?
yeah, it's a dexterity saving throw for 1d6 acid damage, or she's should be over 50, so 2d6.
Yeah, it should be 2d6. Yeah. Big ol' fail.
Or 5 acid damage.
And that one will go to mortally wounded. All right, so now I think I have all of you as targets. And apparently, both of them want Bill. Let's see. I don't think. Oh, wait a second. I want to. My bad. One second. God damn it. Yeah. So the first one, the one that is. Who's coming up first? The blackface one that Terry's attacking is going to. Hmm, I think it's going to reach out. God, I want to wake up other creatures, but I want to make Jinx just drop the spell entirely. It's gonna fire. It's going to attack Jinx. So it'll be at disadvantage. Or should it step away? Yeah, it's gonna step away. Ooh, Terry and Davros are there. You guys could kill it so quick. It's acting intelligently right now. It's going to take 2 shots at Jinx as it basically reaches out with its hand, and you just see as its like flesh almost starts to like tear off of its arm, and this like necrotic flesh just like starts to float over and whirl into Jinx's flesh and starts to like cut into you like little razor blades. It's going to take 2 attacks at Jinx. So the first one here, disadvantage, gonna miss with a 5, and the second one, gonna miss with a 1. Should have used my own inspiration to make that a straight roll. And then the second one is going to push forward and attack. Yeah, I think it can rotate. No, I can't do that without breaking combat. It's got to break from one of you. Yeah, I think it's going to move up to the top here. Terry, you can make an opportunity attack. Was hoping you would fail that.
Oh, it's a big one. 16
Not
damage.
going to be enough. I was the one that was poisoned too, so the chances that I could kill Bill were probably pretty minimal. But I definitely wanted to kill Bill. And that's going to turn back around to top of the order. Was not able to break Jinx. It's going to go to Jinx.
Okay, seeing how effective that blast was, but potentially dangerous to my comrades, I think I'm gonna like reposition a little bit in case I whiff again so I don't blast one of my boys. So is that doorway clear now then? Those are dead creatures?
Yeah, yeah, you can easily get into the room. I should actually put it on the list that I do feel like the laser, if you roll a nat one, should be able to hit friendlies.
Yeah, that makes
We'll
sense.
have it specific to that weapon.
Sounds good. So yeah, I'm gonna just move up a little bit closer and then maybe one. I'm gonna move up to right there and then I'm gonna shoot it at the black one right in front of Terry.
Gotcha. Solid hit.
So 16 total damage lightning.
Just kind of like sears into the flesh of this thing as like what little bits of liquid are actually in this are just boiling up, and you just kind of see like the point of contact is just like plasma hot as like bone itself is starting to like melt at that like point of contact. It is mortally wounded after that shot.
Will a 16 hit it from Terry?
Yes, yes, Terry will hit with a 16.
For 12 magic damage.
That will be the killing blow.
And then he's going to do an attack on the one that is south of him for a total of 6 damage. Magical.
Gotcha. That's again one of those things where I want you to like let me know that you're gonna attack like first one versus this one, second against that one. Like specifically melee characters more than anything. As you like get multiple attacks. I want you to like declare them ahead of time.
Yeah, my bad. I get what you're saying. I thought you meant just roll them separately. Yeah, you can just use that second attack to finish him off because I would have made sure that I was going to kill that guy. So just put a
Gotcha, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
stick to that then. Because yeah,
yeah.
that's the idea.
Even knowing he's mortally wounded, I would have just put them both on the same guy just to make sure he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other five here are still entranced. Neffy doesn't necessarily need to do anything as she now understands like her poison's resistant, but are you doing anything with Neffy? Or rather they're immune to her poison?
No, I think her knowing that they're like pretty well immune to her poison and then seeing that they're like pretty docile, I think she'll just and nobody's like badly injured or anything on our party, so I think she'll just kind of sit this one out.
Nope, you kind of nix the badly damaged with the hypnotic pattern. It's gonna go to Davros.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be that effective.
I mean, with 10 creatures, I shouldn't have rolled that low. At least two of them should have passed. Not simply two of them even had a chance.
All right, so Davros is going to kind of like he glances back, a little uncertainty of Jinx. He's seen a few laser blasts come a little closer than he would have liked, but he will. So he doesn't want to get into Jinx's line of sight. So he is gonna move down to um, kind of focus on the same one that Terry is just after Terry cut down the last one. He's gonna turn his attention to the one now between him and Terry, taking two swings. First will be at advantage with his inspiration.
Excellent.
So that one will hit, and and a crit. The crit was the second one. So the first one, it doesn't really matter since they're both on him. But so the first one will
Can
be
you do 25 with a normal attack? I don't think so.
No, not with a normal.
Yeah, so you can add them up at this point.
All
Oh
right,
no,
so
the crit can still cause system shock. The system shock can happen anytime a creature takes 50% health. The lingering injuries happen creatures that are also. Oh yeah, lingering injuries happen when a system shock happens and they go to 0. That's what it is.
okay. So the first one is going to deal 13,
Gotcha.
and then the crit is going to deal let's see, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 12, 23.
Gotcha. So just a little short of it.
Yeah. And then in total, uh
Oh, I got it. You don't have to total it.
okay, I think it's 36 altogether, but yeah, so that is Davros. Seamus is going to he is going to move over next to Floor, towering over him with her spider legs, and he will take a stab at the one now south of him. But he will miss. And Floor is focusing on the same one. So the one south of Seamus. Should be one. Oh no, 6 plus. I think that might just hit.
Yeah, like an 8. Is it a +8? Because 14's a hit.
So the sheet is +6.
Yeah, so they should have a +8.
Okay, so
Because
one
they
of
gain
hers will hit.
+2. They gain a proficiency at 5 and a proficiency at 7, I think.
Got it. Okay. And that will be for 8 damage.
Excellent.
And is this like the goo kind of? Is it like contained in anything, or is it like kind of just like on the floor?
Like a cauldron.
Okay. Okay.
Did you want to touch it?
No, I was asking because she does not want to touch it.
Reach in and poke it? Maybe put like a spider leg inside to swirl it around a little bit?
I mean, she is a chaos cultist, but for now, she's gonna let's deal with these undead before she goes fooling around with that stuff.
As Jinx like dips a spoon inside. So this one is good. That's the end of your group? Yeah, yeah. So this one's
Yep.
gonna go before Gale. The one between Terry and Davros. Let's see. Gonna step away, give Terry a chance to attack.
It's only
Excellent.
like a 12.
God damn it. I don't know. Can it flank while it's an opportunity attack? What do you guys think? Does Davros flank when Terry is attacking it as it moves to attack Jinx?
Oh, I would say no.
Yeah, because it's moving away, I feel like it's like kind of breaking the flanking sort of like it's I mean it's kind of weird, but I would agree, probably
I
say
kind of
no
I
flanking.
kind of feel that like it's already giving up that like advantage of flanking in simply getting attacked in an opportunity attack. All right.
Yeah, I think that makes
It's
sense.
going to move towards Jinx and pretty much the same thing. Like your flesh is going to like boil. I need you to make a constitution save as blood starts to like rise through your veins and arteries. You're going to take 4 necrotic, and that is a permanent reduction of your hit points. In the long run, it's until you take a long rest. But again, at present, that is -4 to your maximum health.
Okay, so I only rolled a 9 on my con save. Or was that counting it as a fail?
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I could pretty much tell with what your die roll was that you failed. And then it's going to slash out at you. Does a 14 hit? I think you're 15 AC.
16 AC. Was that
16?
-5 you said to the hit points?
I think it was -4. You take 4 damage, and it's -4 to your maximum.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Yeah, 16 armor.
So yeah, the slash at you doesn't hit, but as it approaches you, like your body like bruising and blood kind of surfacing, it starts to suck some of your life out of you there. Um and then is that the con save? And that was a War Master with advantage? Is that what you just rolled?
Yeah, I passed 15 concentration check.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's gonna take us to Gale.
Yeah, and I'm gonna shoot the one that just attacked Jinx with the firebolt.
Excellent.
21 to hit,
Solid hit.
17 fire damage.
It will like sizzle and burn as the rest of like the liquid in this fleshy body just kind of dissipates. It's all of a sudden almost like parchment levels of dry, and it's just consumed into dust. As there's not even like fragments of bone that falls. This thing's reduced to completely to ash.
Alright, then with that, Bill will move his Hunter's Mark to the one just east of Terry. Shoot 2 arrows. For a nat 20 and nat 20 and 20.
Excellent.
Does the Hunter's Mark? That doesn't get the crit, right? That's just added to.
I think with the new way we've been playing it, we say max the weapon damage, not any other dice. I think it's kind of. I think part of what we went for was a blend between what they were talking about with 6th edition, where they were removing, like, say, things like Smite and Hunter's Mark from doubling, and like removing things like the Rogue's sneak attack from doubling. So yeah, I think what we've been doing is to basically isolate it to maximum the weapon's damage, and then you just roll to see how much more it does.
Let's see then.
So
That
what
would
is
be
it? He's got like a D10 for a longbow. Is that what it normally is?
no, he has a D8 actually.
D8. So yeah, I think you would do, whatever his dex modifier is, +8, and you do the dex modifier twice, and then +2d8. What's his dex modifier? Like, that's the plus.
Yeah, I think it's a +4.
Yeah, so he would do 16 plus 2d8 here, basically.
16 plus 2d8.
Oh, so is that why we've been doing it that way? Is that the way they talked about for 6th edition?
I think it's kind of a blend of it, because part of what they were going for in 6th edition was they were making it specifically weapon damage. So, like, sorcerers and wizards can no longer crit. like with spells, like you only crit on weapon damage. Um, but the other part was is I think the idea was simply just to like say like instead of rolling 2d6, like two times your dice, let's just make it the maximum die number because you crit. And then you roll as that extra end of it for randomness.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's cool. I wasn't sure where that came from, but I do like the idea of your initial weapon damage is max plus you roll a random one.
Yeah. And then I don't know how I feel about removing people like rogues, like chances of getting like, 100 damage when people are averaging like 15. Like part of what makes rogues good, I think, might be that they do occasionally like crit and have 76 as their sneak attack, the double to 14. I'm not sure how I feel specifically about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how we've been playing it was weapon damage. And I think this has been feeling a whole lot better as far as like I'm concerned. I think it's been more entertaining because it feels like you do more damage on a crit, like regularly.
yeah, because you don't have to like low roll because it feels kind of
Yeah, they're
shit.
like double ones. Like when you roll a crit with like a great sword and you're like, all right, let me roll these 2d12 and you roll double ones, you're just like, how is that a crit? Like, give me that 12 damage.
Yeah, but yeah,
My bad there. What'd you roll, Chris?
it would have been a total of 30 with the Hunter's Mark damage added to it as well for that first attack.
Hell yeah. Um, so yeah, that will put him into a like immediately into a bloodied state.
And then it would have been like, um, oh yeah, need to roll another Hunter's Mark for that one.
Oh, was 34 just the critical attack?
Oh, 30, and was just a critical attack.
Okay, so that was what is that? 8 where it's like 12 plus a d8 plus a d6 and you got 30? Is that right?
Yeah, I think I might have done that wrong. I'm gonna have to
No, it
rewind.
must have been multiple attacks. So yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think that you could get the system shock with that one, but yeah.
no,
What was that extra d6?
that's an extra 3, so it would have been 33 total from both attacks then.
Excellent.
And that's it for Bill. And Cass is gonna roll and see what she does. Yeah, that's awesome. She's gonna try to hit the one by Terry, but she's gonna end up doing a poison spray, and that only has 10 feet of range.
Is that part of what that one is? That like she doesn't know what she's gonna cast each time?
Yeah, because she's literally like chaos mage. It's wild magic, I
Gotcha.
think.
Yeah.
But I thought it could be funny. I find it funny so far. But yeah, so she's gonna try to do magic, hoping for a firebolt, and ends up. How would we roll that? Would Jinx be hit by the poison spray? Or could she like angle it like she noticed it? Oh shit, that's the wrong one.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned on things like that, especially with poison spray and acid splash like on her list, she's like casting it and can start to move as it starts to like form. You could move with her in the process of casting it and like still be effective. She doesn't have to be ineffective.
Okay, then she'll like move and cast in like when she's like 10 feet.
It might be easier for her to like switch her target to the one that like Seamus is on. But yeah, you could do what you're doing there, like move to get closer to uh Harry.
Yeah,
But that's where I would say I almost think of it as she's casting the magic to see what it is, and then she's going to release it as she gets there, kind of thing.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I can understand. She's like holding it.
Oh, but I did also forget. You said poison spray. So yeah, as soon as she releases it, she'll find out poison they are immune to. It doesn't affect it at all.
Yeah, no, I figured that, but she still like would have, because she probably wouldn't like notice exactly what it is. So it's more like get here and its range and oh shit, poison.
Yeah, I don't think she's really going in any danger where I feel bad about that. But yeah, she'll basically realize the same thing Neffy just went through, where it's just like, oh, yep, these things don't really care about poison in the least bit. They're not alive. Is that everything from your characters? Yes, back to the top of the order, I think.
Yep.
So this is going to be the green one beneath Seamus and Floor. Yeah, this one is just going to. I think it's going to be responding to Gale burning up the other one. It's going to kind of reach out in the same way you guys have seen as their like flesh like detaches and then necrosis like spreads to you. It is going to try to attack Gale. Again, I've had a few ones here. I'm going to use an inspiration to make this a straight attack as it is in combat using a range attack. And I should hit Gale with a 20. Do you want to shield this? Can a shield help at 20?
Yeah, Gale wants to shield this.
And then this one will be a disadvantage as it makes the second attack. But a 14 will be ineffective. As you basically, this isn't quite like getting magic missiled, but it's definitely the same kind of like feel as like all of these tiny little like shards of flesh kind of start to fly towards you, and you just see each little individual piece of like this flesh just like burns up as it passes through your magical shield. And it's gonna go to Jinx.
Okay, so I'm gonna just unload my laser at the one directly in front of Terry. I missed again.
You're certainly trying to get that one.
Terry's gonna look back over his shoulder, pissed, as it like shoots right by him.
You
Then
see
he's
like
gonna
a
go.
point where like the plasma like hit his actual sword, and you'll notice that like while it burns into the stone, the actual magical like weapons are unaffected by it. It might get like a little bit like red hot, but it does not create like that same like plasma state as everywhere else where this thing is contacted. So Terry can at least rest a little bit more sure that it's not going to damage Sumer.
Yeah, Jinx like shrugs back at Terry, like, oops. And then Terry's gonna go double attack at the guy in front of him. So one hit for 16 damage, magical.
That'll put that one into mortally wounded.
And Nephi will kind of like just look around the room and see, does anybody look messed up right now?
I think you're all doing pretty good. Davros might be the only one who's taken any significant amount of damage.
Yeah, but he's second winded, so he's looking fine.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, she'll just keep sort of like doing lookout outside, make sure nobody's like coming or anything.
Gotcha. We'll keep it that she's more or less also dodging. I don't expect to like try to be tricky here, but that should take us to Davros.
All right. Davros is going to step forward and start swinging at the one beside him and Terry.
You want to put one attack into it? It is mortally wounded, or do you just want to strike to kill?
Would I be able to step here without stepping on the cauldron? Is there enough room?
I kind of want to say yes, so I might have a chance to push you into the cauldron in a later point. Um, that's kind of one of those weird things where like it really sucks having like the geometry of this game. I would say, how about if we call it something like if you want to attack both creatures, you're moving forward as if your first attack is a kill. If you fail to kill that mortally wounded one, I'll do like a dex for you, and if you roll like 5 or lower, you might stumble and have like a negative happen from it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because that was main reason I was asking, because I want to take basically first swing while moving, and then try to take the second swing on
Yeah.
the one to its right.
So yeah, we'll go first one into the thing. If that fails to kill, the second might be negative. But yeah, I think you should be able to get the auto kill here. Oh, he's
Low
trying.
damage. So that's 8.
8 is a successful kill.
All right. So in that case, he's kind of moving kind of down this way, and second swing at this creature. That should hit, and that will deal 9 damage.
Excellent.
And I think he, wanting to stay away from the goo, is going to.
Oh no, I was turning that creature into like a map level. That's the only reason I moved you up there. It's good. It can't be affected now.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, yep. So that is it for Davros. Seamus is going to. He is going to try to. Because Flora's been having trouble, maybe not used to the height that she's swinging from. He is going to use his low blow to try to knock this one below him prone. The attack is going to miss. So it says, using its signature attack, the cut first attacks a weak point on an enemy creature, causing it to fall prone. So doesn't
I think if you
technically.
fail, it's not going to go prone. But I think if
Okay.
you hit, it's auto prone.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure of. Okay. All right, so his attack
It sounds right to
misses.
everybody else there, right? That one is if it hits, it's auto.
Yeah, I think if you miss, it definitely shouldn't knock it prone.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right. So he tries that, fails. Floor is going to swing at it twice. Okay, this time she'll hit twice.
Ooh, that's kind of rough. I'm going to let you make that prone because that is once a day.
Well, no, that's the third level, so that's 3 times a day.
No, it's once a day on him. All of his are once a day.
Oh, I did not notice
Yeah,
that.
I say let that be an auto prone that he can only do it once a day. But I'm gonna say, and I want everybody to try to remember this. Let's interpret that as auto prone. He just doesn't deal any damage himself by missing. Um, because it is weird how it is worded. Using a signature attack, the cut purse attacks a weak point on an enemy creature, causing it to fall prone. That sounds pretty automatic. The using its signature attack is why I felt like it might be a roll. But the fact that it's once a day, I think is pretty legitimate to just say that he can just automatically cause prone when he needs it.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the intent was to essentially have that work automatically in place of damage. Like you
That's
don't
kind
even
of what
roll
I'm
to hit.
thinking here as well. Instead of doing a signature attack, he just makes a creature go prone.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense to me to read it that way.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. Or if like it's after you know it already hit, you like activate that so that it doesn't just get wasted and it's a once a day ability.
and then Khan, it's gonna fail here with a 9. I'm not sure um what their DCs are offhand. I know they don't have high DCs, but I'm gonna have a 12 total. I think 12 is below what they would have here, so not gonna look it up. We'll just go with that. So technically, it'll have disadvantage until his next turn, I think. Oh, until the end of its next turn. Yeah.
Okay, yep. All right, so that first one from floor hits, and then she'll have advantage because it's prone, so I'll roll 2 more.
Did you roll 2 with the first one, or like did you roll 2 already, like fishing for a crit?
So I rolled a 19 and a 9.
Gotcha.
That was going to be 2 attacks, but then with the advantage after it went prone, I just used it as the first one.
Hell yeah. So you should have 2 total hits here
Yep,
with her.
and it will be for 15 total damage.
Excellent. That will put that one in a bloodied state.
And that is it for my troop there.
All right, so I think I already attacked with the green one because that's above Jinx. Oh, technically the yellow one should have gone, but I don't think Jinx caused that one. Davros attacked it, so yeah, it was already past its initiative, so it's going to go to Gale.
Yeah, and Gale will firebolt the yellow one.
Excellent.
I don't think an 11 will hit.
No, 14 is the AC. EC.
Gale will follow up, moving his hunter's mark and then attacking with 2 arrows.
I think both of those will hit.
Yeah, and let's see, 2d8.
This is the same one, the yellow one.
Yep. 2 on the yellow one. Let's see. So that would be 18 total damage.
Gonna put that one in the bloodied state.
See what Cass will do. Another poison spray.
Oh no, I think that isn't that the acid splash.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. I think I.
Well,
Yeah,
acid splash is 1 and poison spray is 3, I think is yeah, the
yeah,
poison spray is the one that they're immune to, so acid splash actually is effective.
yeah. For some reason, I misplaced them. Okay, yeah. See, acid splash. That's dexterity saving throw for 1d6.
My bad. I would like her dexterity and I never actually reacted. Um shit, she's definitely who we need. 17, I'm pretty sure she does not have a 17 DC. Again, I kind of need to know their DCs with her slinging those. But at present, I think we're good there. It's probably verse hat or verse none because it's a cantrip. Do you have any other actions, or is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of her turn. And mine.
Excellent. So wonder if it's. Let's see. The green one is going to attack. Odd will be floor. Yeah, we're gonna do floor. 17 should hit her. Can she make a con save, please?
Yep. Yeah, she has AC 15 now as a Reaver.
Excellent. Oh yeah, this is gonna be weird. I don't even roll the damage here.
And she does have con is one of her saves, which makes sense for one
Yeah.
Raver. So should be good, I think, that
Yeah, that'll be
18.
good. And then make a con save versus 5, so pretty much an out of 1. So she won't take damage as like her flesh like bruises as the blood's like sucked to the surface. And then it's going to claw out at her. I did not mean to roll that d6, but it doesn't matter. With a 4, it's going to miss. The next one is going to sort of recognize, and it is going to go for. What's it? That's 4. I feel like that's Davros. No, 5. Minus 4. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna be Seamus. I'm gonna do Davros anyways, because he's right there. Do an attack on Davros normal, big ol' miss, and then it's gonna slash at you. And 15, I think, misses Davros.
Yep, not quite enough.
And then that's gonna go to Jinx.
Okay, he's going to look down at this weapon, sort of like doubting it, as it's been pretty ineffective so far. And then I'm going to use my inspiration on this one, and I'm going to shoot at the one right in front of Davros.
Excellent.
Haha, natural 20.
All right, so you're gonna do 18, which is its hit points. You're just going to melt straight through this creature, um, with the laser beam. Just like everything as you're like drawing it across like lines in this, like the little like etch a sketch lines are just cutting this thing into pieces as like individual body parts are just turned to like plasma as it cuts through the bone, and just all these red hot little pieces of lava just kind of fall to the ground.
Yeah, so like goes like completely wide eyed as this thing's like as effective as he had hoped. And then just is like maniacally like laughing, handlebar mustache, like dancing in the wind.
In the wind of the hot plasma as it rises to the ceiling.
Yeah. So is it okay Terry can get through like that little area right there? Do I need to do like a dex check or something to get past Davros?
He's small. He can move through there. I don't care. But that was more because it's like, I mean, realistically though, that's still a 10-foot space almost. It was more just to see if there was an entertaining aspect of Davros taking that. I feel like that's one of the things I miss of Call of Cthulhu, where like sometimes taking advantageous things is like, are you willing to risk something bad happening?
Oh yeah, I like it for sure. Anytime you're doing like more checks for like something good or something bad to happen, it's always more fun. So it's gonna be 2 hits for a total of 24 magic damage against the one north of him.
Finally, with essentially one creature, hypnotic pattern is no longer affecting me. What would you like to do? Anything with Neffy? Otherwise, it's gonna go to Davros.
Oh no, she got like guard duty this time. She's like the getaway driver or the lookout, so she doesn't actually get to partake.
And is that a so on the other side of the thing, the not the green one, the other one remaining, is that like an open area or is that a door or
Oh yeah,
closed?
my bad. I never revealed like after you guys like discovered the room. There is a hallway that effectively, as far as your light goes, just seems to continue off in that direction.
Okay, because I almost want to see like Davros. I kind of want to have him try to like how thick is the lip of the cauldron? I essentially almost want to have him try to like almost like jump onto the lip and then leap like to the other side of this thing to attack it.
I mean, you could potentially like leap onto the cauldron. I'd say it's the same type of thing where there can be a check and like the potential of something bad happening. But technically, the weird part is like having those two there blocking that hall. Um, I think my computer just turned its Bluetooth on. Um, ooh, that's a tough one. I think they block that way. I don't know if you can like piggyback over like Terry specifically because he's small. Um, but how about I'll give you an acrobatics to floor and you can get thrown over by the spider legs, but it'll take her action. You know what I mean? You can do like a combined action with floor to fling Davros over there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So he would so basically try to like kind of like leap to her and have her kind of sling him.
Yeah. So we're having you jump onto the cauldron and kind of leap towards her to have her fling you over with the spider legs because she's like closer to the ceiling. I'm not going to make it difficult. It's going to be a 10 as the DC, but if you fail by 5, if you roll a 5 or below, something bad might happen, like where you fall into the cauldron versus like landing on the edge of the cauldron.
Gotcha. All right. So acrobatics, right?
Indeed, yes.
All right. So it's a 14.
Solid. Yeah, so you basically leap over, she flings you over, and you can throw Davros on the other side wherever you'd like to be.
All right. And then as he lands, he is going to take one swing at each of these. First one will be the one next to him, and then second one will be the one between him and Seamus.
Gotcha. You can have advantage on the first of these attacks.
All right. So that will hit for 13
And this
on
is the northern one or the one above Terry? My bad.
the first one is the one above Terry, so to the
Gotcha.
left of Davros, and then second one will be on the green one to the north. That should still hit,
Should still hit, yeah.
and that will be for also 13, so 13 apiece.
Gotcha. So after that attack, the more northern one is mortally wounded.
Okay, and has it come around to it again after Seamus knocked it prone, or is it still prone at this point?
Oh shit. Yeah, that one would have stood up because it goes at the top of the order before Jinx there. My bad.
Okay, yeah. So Seamus will try to finish
Did
it
I
off.
actually hit either of them with that creature? Because I think his prone. I don't think I was effective in my attacks last turn. But I
I
forgot to write that down.
I think it hit floor, but she ended up taking no damage.
Yeah, okay, good.
But Seamus is going to miss. And Floor's action was displaying Davros, so that will be all for my guys.
Excellent. And that will go to Gale.
Yeah, I will firebolt the one just west of Davros. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's 12 to hit. No, 14. I mean,
Solid hit.
for 11 fire damage.
And which one was this? The one west of Davros? Like the
Yeah.
skeleton faced one? Gotcha. It had 11 hit points. That will be a.
Then Bill will try to finish off the last one. Smoking everything. Let's see. Yes, one hit with roll 16 and a roll 2.
Should be able to kill that with the bow and hunter's mark.
I mean, if I rolled a 3 and a 1 for 8 total damage.
That is a kill. So again, there's plenty of noise in here. You guys don't specifically like hear anything, but even with the last of these creatures, as their mouths go still and they're no longer like incanting, this black tar, this ooze inside of that cauldron is still boiling, still bubbling. There's no fire beneath the cauldron, but it still boils and kind of bubbles up as like globules kind of like form, almost lifting without gravity, and then they kind of pop and it flows back down.
Hey, now that the combat has ended, can we just take a quick 5-minute break?
Oh yeah, sounds great.
All right, thanks. Be back in a few. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I'm still here.
That hypnotic pattern, I feel like, definitely saved us.
Oh yeah, that could have been so much worse than it was.
Or at the very least, we would have been a lot more beat up than we are.
Yeah, I mean, if that didn't go off as well as it did, I feel like our long rest would have been like used up most of our resources right here and then, depending on what all of them could do.
It was like a summary execution. Like everybody's just frozen, and we just walk up one after another, like striking them down.
Yeah, and especially with their potential to like reduce permanent hit points, that could have really been bad.
Oh yeah, a couple rounds of that could definitely make a big difference, especially for like some of the lower hit points, like guys or like some of the NPCs even. But I mean, let's just remember that in the future, hypnotic pattern will not be that effective. It's definitely peaked.
Yeah, well now we're expecting perfection going forward, Jinx.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
no,
you
that
set the
was it.
standard.
That was the best it'll ever get. I probably just never cast it again because it's all downhill from here. The funny thing is, I was thinking I was gonna upcast Bane, and then I was like, maybe I'll throw out a slow or hypnotic pattern. I was like, slow's only 6. I'm like, hypnotic pattern, I could hit probably most of them. Half probably fail, and then like everyone failed. I'm like, all right, that was pretty good.
Yeah, well, what do we think about the black bubbling tar? Anyone want to grab a souvenir?
Yeah, so Davros is thinking like he was gonna maybe take one of his javelins and just kind of like not attack it, but like kind of just like poke it, see like is it
You
stuff
say
like
curiosity killed the cat?
it's like is it sentient? Is it gonna like I don't know. He's yeah he's weirded out by it, but he's also kind of curious like what this stuff is.
Are all three of you back at this point?
Yeah, we're all here, unless Chris stepped away again.
No, I'm still here.
Actually, I mean, before he does that, he would like look towards Gale and like kind of like since we still can't really hear each other well, he'd like overemphasize like what is that? He'd like kind of mouth the words like what is that and like shrug his shoulders, thinking of all of us, Gale might be the only one who might have any idea like if this is some sort of like magical liquid or something.
Yeah, Gale isn't exactly an alchemist, but he can do. We want to. I think like sign out to like if we want to wait for like 10 minutes, he can do like he can do something. Basically, ritual detect magic. See if it says anything, but otherwise, it's not very good with the alchemy.
When you say you're not an alchemist, if you want to do a check, you can do a check and have Neffy give you advantage on it.
Yeah, I mean I could do that then.
What are you thinking about doing?
Yeah, with Nephis' help, like check see if there's like any alchemical properties to this, or if it's just like magic. I wonder like how to word that though, but like to check if it's like something produced with magic or if it's like something they made and it became magical like with reagents and things like that.
Gotcha. So you're thinking do like an Arcana check to see whether it's more magical than it is like substances at use.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because I think substances are almost like a little bit more natural in like almost like chemistry versus actually the intention of magic is sort of the arcana. So yeah, make a test here. You can have advantage, and we'll see what Gale can see.
That is a 26 with advantage. And that would have been a nat 1 without.
So, when you are investigating this, do you have thoughts on like is this investigation something similar to you actually casting like detect magic where you are simply trying to weave spells to identify this? Is this something where you're testing it, where you're actually like touching it maybe with like a glass stirrer and actually like seeing like what this is like when it's manipulated by touch? Do you know what I mean? Is this more physical or is this more theoretical?
Oh, I think with Neph's help, it would probably more physical.
Gotcha. So your initial like attempts of this where you're trying to simply like see what is happening are going to basically result in this is something a little other than just your magical understanding. It is perhaps leaning towards something that might be more inside of Neferndel's alchemical understandings, the manipulation of physical properties to create different reagents, actions, and sort of like chemical happenings. But you are going to notice in the first few moments of actually trying to manipulate this thing that it is not a pool of liquid. This is a singular liquid. This is a thing. And as you like poke it and prod it with one of her like glass stirring rods, you'll basically see as the rod like pokes into it, the liquid almost like moves away from the glass. The glass never pierces into it. You're never like dipping it into a liquid. The liquid almost like recedes away from the glass stirring rod. Would you guys like to keep your initiatives and see where I roll, or do you guys want to roll fresh initiatives?
I'm good with just keeping it as it is.
Sound good to you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good with that. I think Jinx would be like still enamored with like his crazy blast. So like I think he would just be focused on that.
All right, yeah. So while Gail's like investigating this, you're just going to see as this thing almost like rescinds away from the glass stirrer rod, and then as there's like a almost like pushback, and the rod's like flung out of your hand, and the glass just shatters onto the ground. 17 to hit you, Gale. Would you like to shield that? Does that normally miss you?
that would just hit, so I am shielding that.
So as this glass rod's like flung out of your hand, there's almost like a pseudopod sort of appendage kind of like extends and just goes to push Gale back. You create the shield, and it's just one of those moments where like you've got this like force field in front of you, and your feet just like slide back like 2 inches on the dust as the force of this blow kind of pushes away. Um, do, 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 do. And then Terry is going to 20 should hit Terry, right?
Yep.
Um Terry is going to get struck by like another appendage, kind of like reaching out, and at the last minute, this like pseudopod, like just extending arm, like just like appendage, just like separates, and he'll see for a moment as there's a maw just filled with hundreds of tiny little teeth as it separates, bites down onto him, and it's going to deal. Oh, wait, the damage doesn't matter. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Um, could Davros use interception? Would that make any difference if the?
What is it? When he's next to somebody, you can reduce the damage?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, do your reaction to reduce it first. I have a feeling Terry's going to pretty much succeed pretty much on a not one, like once you do that. And it would probably be like on a 1 through 4. Yeah, so you reduce it by 10. So yeah, Terry, just roll a 1. Or roll a did you roll a con save already with Terry?
Yeah, the con save is a 7 and he does have constitution.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So you're good with a 7 because that's going to be, um, what is it? It's probably like a +5 on the sheet, so it's a +7 right now. But yeah, you're definitely good with that. Let's see. What does your intercession say? Does it just reduce the damage? That's kind of how it's flavored.
When a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus 3, so it'd be 13.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, you must be wielding a shield or simple or martial weapon to use this reaction. So it can reduce it to a minimum of 0 damage, I guess. So it could theoretically block like the hit if it dealt less than whatever I roll.
What's it say though? You have to have a shield. What is it? Or a melee weapon, did it say?
Yeah, or a simple or martial weapon. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what do you have? You've got like your greatsword?
Yeah.
All right, so this isn't going to necessarily change how you act on Davros, but more because of the flavor of what this creature is and the fact that you did this. As it bites down on Terry, this maw like separated and has consumed Terry's head. So it's like biting down onto Terry's neck, and you cannot see Terry's head. Terry is currently blinded, but Davros, you have your sword inside of its maw, preventing it from actually like biting down into Terry's chest, basically, as something has come out of this cauldron, slapped Gale out of the way, and is trying to bite down onto Terry's head. And then it's going to go to Jinx. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I think probably, man, because it's got Terry like in its mouth, I think I'm hesitant to blast it with my laser. Because I do like Terry.
I mean, it's more or less the same thing. If you roll a 1, you're hitting Terry, but otherwise you can try to shoot it. I mean, you're welcome to
Yeah,
role play it as you like to be worried.
yeah, I think he would like be hesitant though, just because it's got Terry in its mouth or whatever.
Are you as
So
hesitant with one of the more projectile dragon guns?
yeah, I think I'm gonna do. Man, the voice component is still so limiting to like my arsenal. I'm gonna do Bane on it.
God damn it.
16 charisma. I'm gonna riz it up.
My bad, it failed that, so it is indeed baned.
Okay, cool. So it's just saving throws, attack rolls. Yeah, attack rolls and saving throws minus 1d4. And then Terry is so he's blinded right now. Is there any other effects to what he can and can't do? Is he like considered grappled?
He's unable to breathe, but that's not going to affect anything until, like 15 plus rounds. So, not technically.
Okay, so I think he starts like just recklessly like swinging his sword slash spear. So I'm gonna do a double attack on it, and one of them is going to be a commanding strike for Davros to attack it as well.
Um, I'll let you action surge and attack doubly, but if you roll a 7 or under, it hits Stavros.
Oh wait, so I can just do like double attacks? Is that what you're saying?
Indeed, yeah. You said you were going to attack recklessly, so if you want to do double attacks, all of
Oh
those
yeah.
attacks, though, have a chance to hit Davros.
Yeah, I feel like he's flailing at this point in time. So like he's blinded, doesn't know what the hell's going on. So yeah, all right, I'll do that. Woo, close one. So the first one is a 17.
That will hit.
Uh-oh. That one's under 7. That would be a 15.
Yeah, I guess really I should have said different though. Because what's his modifier? I feel like it's really just a nat one. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. My bad.
Oh, I thought you were doing like a 25% chance I hit him. Is what you were going for.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to make it 25%. Yeah, I guess I kind of was. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. Might have gone too far, but for one hit here, as you roll another 6. All right. So right now we've got 2 on the creature and 2 on Davros, and then Davros also gets to make an attack. Oh wait, you can't call out to give a commanding strike. He's
Well,
got
his
no he's got no head. And Davros can't hear anything.
the warlord ability, only one of them requires like you to be able to hear him. Like the one I'm doing is sorry, I had to
Like
pull it up.
hand
The
signals.
warlord takes a signature attack and selects an ally who can immediately move up to 30 feet and take an attack or cast a spell. Only
I gotcha.
its charge is what it's
We'll go
called.
for it. But I'm definitely feeling like the face of Terry is part of what makes it so you don't necessarily need to hear him. So Terry without a face commanding somebody via hand signals kind of makes me laugh. But yeah, you just hit Davros twice. I'm fine with you giving Davros an attack. So roll your 2 attacks on the creature. Oh my gosh. Did anybody need advantage?
Davros needs it back.
Okay,
Okay,
so
good.
it's a total on the creature of 31 magic damage.
Excellent. And then how much did you do to that first? Sorry, Justin.
Nope, I feel like
Uh
that's what makes Davros miss so badly is he's trying to avoid getting hit by Terry, and so he just misses the creature.
yeah, it's definitely thematic. So it's going to be a total of 22 to Davros.
All right, at least it was more to the actual creature. So Terry, you are going to make 2 constitution saves for me versus 7, so not ones.
So both will pass.
As you find out that every bit of damage that you do to this creature, it does to you.
Is that only when Terry hits it?
For now, right now, Terry understands that as he hits the creature, he was feeling pain as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Jinx didn't actually hit it. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, after that, Neffy, like seeing this like pure insanity, will let me see. Can I get around to Davros to smash a potion in his mouth?
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of those creatures are dead. I think going the north way is probably easier, but I don't think there's any reason that she can't get to Davros.
Okay, so she's gonna run around to Davros, and then she's going to uh like seeing
I guess
Terry.
really the real thing is was she already in combat with the creature?
Yeah, she would have been right up against the thing because she was helping Gale. So
Gotcha. So did you run between like Floris, and the creature? Like you went through that route?
yeah, but I think she would be trying to like get to Davros here. I don't think she would stop right there and give him the potion. I think she would
I'm good. You
move
go
out
to
of
that?
its reach.
Okay, nothing happens.
Okay. So then she'll give Davros a potion. So Davros, roll a d12. This is one of her good potions.
My bad. You might not have noticed, but Gale got hit by this thing. This thing has a reach of 10 feet.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So what was that? 5?
5 in the D12. Yep,
Roll a d6.
another 5.
No, you gain 10 feet flying speed for 10 minutes. And that is all. So yeah, that's it for me.
So that takes it to Davros.
Okay. So Davros wants to try to extricate Terry from this thing's maw. Like he's gonna try to. He tried to essentially reach in with his hand and try to like I don't know because he's afraid he doesn't want to like rip Terry's like head off, but he wants to try and get him out of the um. Maybe for now he'll just try to focus on I think it said he'll swing twice at this. He's going to move up to the edge and swing twice at this thing, hoping to maybe if he can trying not to hit where he thinks Terry's head might be, but just trying to weaken this thing, and maybe then it will release Terry of its own accord. Or so
Excellent. I'm sure that's a perfectly good plan.
yeah, because I'm afraid he's like if he tries to rip Terry's head, out of the maw, he's just going to rip the body out and leave Terry's head kind of. All right, so I will make the first attack with advantage with my inspiration. Uh, 19
Solid hit.
for 14 damage.
Excellent. Terry, make a Constitution saving throw for 7.
I'll pass.
You're good.
All right,
And second attack?
Yep. That would only be a 10.
That's gonna miss. This isn't like an armored creature, but it does have natural armor. So that's one of those things where it's almost like your sword like goes to like cut into this goo, and sort of the same way the rod kind of just like almost like spread the goo away from it without piercing into it. Your sword almost like spreads the goo away, almost as if there's like a wave kind of like heading in front of your sword, almost like a surfboard kind of riding on the wave. Like the goo of this black creature just kind of like moves out of the way of your sword before your sword like slashes past and it's free of the creature.
Yep. So he is going to he will stay there next to Terry. Seamus is going to kind of move up and try to stab at this thing from the corner here. That will hit for 6 damage.
Terry, make a con save for me. Just not one.
The one.
You will lose 1 wound as Seamus stabs into you, and you feel this thing. Again, like every single one of these attacks that actually hits it, Terry feels it like biting down on him. But that specifically is one where, again, like how they kind of work, they take the wound. But he'll lose a wound with that.
All right, and Floor, seeing her new companion kind of consumed by this thing, probably not able to imagine Terry's probably like at least grunting in pain, but obviously can't hear it. She is going to go into take a frenzied attack at this thing, which is the Reaver's 5th level. So she immediately makes 3 attacks with her signature attack, and they would be a critical hit on an 18 through a 20.
Excellent.
So let's see. Okay, they should all hit, but no crits.
Solid.
Ooh, and terrible damage.
Holy shit.
So that's going to be a total of 15. Wow.
What
One
are
two
they
for
individually though? What's her plus? Is
oh
like plus
right.
4?
Yeah, so it's our plus 3. So it's 4, 5, and 6.
Gotcha. So Terry, make 3 con saves, all not ones.
He's good all three.
Yeah, she's still getting used to the height thing with her spider legs, so her attacks are a little weaker than intended. But she is also basically like coming right up to the edge of the cauldron, and that is it for her.
Excellent. That'll be Gale.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and spell. Phantasmal Killer. It's a Wisdom 16 saving throw. If it can be frightened. I'm not sure if this one can be frightened, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. So as you you said Phantasmal Killer.
Yeah.
You'll see as like this otherwise kind of like innocuous part of like the puddle, as it's like almost like drooping over Terry, part of like the puddle that's still in the cauldron almost sort of forms like a face that immediately kind of like recoils in like a screaming, not necessarily humanoid face, but just kind of the rough idea of like a mouth and um a number of eyes above said mouth kind of like recoil in a scream, and then it kind of like washes back out into sort of a fluid state. Anything else from Gale? Otherwise, what would you like to do with your sidekicks?
That's it for Gale, and Bill will shoot 2 arrows into it now. It's frightened. I'm not sure how that if that gives it in. Just it
I believe
has
that frightened is just for it attacking.
yeah. So let's see. I rolled 15 and a 12. I think both.
The 15 should hit. It's flanking. The 12 can hit as well. Nah, this thing doesn't really have a direction, so I'm going to say it can't be flanked.
Oh, but yeah, that was rolled. I think it would be a 17 and
Well, no,
plus.
the 14 is its AC, so the 12 would hit if we allowed like the +2 for flanking. But that's why I was saying this thing. It's not actually a creature with a face. It is omnidirectional, is part of why I was describing it as like forming a face to be afraid of Gale more than that this thing has faces. So there is a face currently eating Terry, but it made a face just to be afraid of Gale in the process of you casting that. But this is a creature that I would say cannot be flanked because it doesn't have directions. It's always facing forward.
Yeah,
Also sucks because it also means it's always facing Gale.
yeah. I'm sorry, I might have put it clumsily, but like I rolled 12. I hadn't checked its modifier yet,
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. I got you.
so
My
yeah,
apologies there.
the lowest would have been an 18.
Yeah, that's a hit. Most of the time, if you guys roll over a 10, you don't have to check. That's a hit.
Okay.
I don't tend to have creatures that have ACs above 20. I don't actually remember the last time I've had a creature with an AC over 15.
Be 16 regular damage, nothing magical.
Excellent. Terry, can you make a save verse 8?
That one's a fail.
You'll take one more wound.
Oh wait, is that 8 on the die, or is that 8 total?
8 total, so it's probably a 1 or a 2. I
Oh,
think he
okay. Yeah, sorry. That's a pass then. I rolled the
gotcha.
6.
And as for Cass, she's gonna move back one step. And let's see what another acid. She really likes her acid splash. Dexterity saving throw
It
for
should
Twin.
pass. Oh, and by the way, their DC is 15. It's normally 13, so they're +2 at this point, so their DC is 15. Does that end your turn then?
Yes, it does.
All right, so it has advantage attacking Terry and disadvantage for Gale. It's going to be a straight attack on Terry here. Son of a whore. I'm going to use. Oh, son of a bitch! I forgot. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Um, I'm going to use its advantage to attack Gale. It is a disadvantage to attack him. It is using advantage. Straight attack on Gale. Hit you with a 21.
I'm gonna shield.
And then it's going to go to Jinx.
Oh, but it's gotta make a wisdom saving throw for the Phantasma Killer again at the end of its turn.
And it's good.
Ah, damn. Then I didn't get the damage.
So Jinx is going to do like acrobatic move, maybe like run up to the cauldron, jump up on the edge and do like a front flip to try to get behind Davros. That's where I would optimally like to land.
Can you move? What is it? Your movement's 30, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I think you can move there.
Ooh, it is a 3 though.
Oh, my bad. You don't actually have to do an acrobatics because you're not doing anything that's impossible to do.
Oh, okay, okay. I got you. 'Cause-
Davros had to do the thing with the floor because the creatures, the enemies, blocked his entry into that hall.
Okay, so 3 is okay for acrobatics, total of 9 to get
Yeah, yeah,
behind him.
you're not actually doing anything. The real reason I would call you to do an acrobatics is if you wanted to somehow gain advantage by doing that, not just to get over there. You can make it a flourish of acrobatics, but you just do.
Okay, cool. So as I land back behind Davros, you'll see like a warm, bright light start to glow up in Jinx's hands, and he'll reach out and touch Davros' shoulder, and I'm going to do a 3rd level Cure Wounds for a total of 18 cure. And
Got
then
it. Thank you.
after, oh yeah, for sure, it's the least I could do. After I do that, he's going to snap his fingers with his other hand and put that hand on Davros' shoulder too. And I'm going to give him Bardic Inspiration. And then that is it for Jinx's move there. Yeah, he's gonna stay where he's at, knowing that Terry is like going reckless right now. But if it's okay, I'm gonna do the same thing again with Terry. He's like freaking out, flailing. So
Yeah, I mean,
All
I
right,
would be if
so on this one, let's say it is a 1 will hit Jinx, and then a 5 on the die or lower hits Davros.
okay. Do you still want me to do uh double attacks disadvantage or just regular attacks disadvantage?
You are still disadvantaged though. Oh yeah, if you did regular attacks disadvantage, you can't hit your allies. The double attacks is what I'm saying. You can recklessly attack twice, but you have a chance to hit anybody who's standing next to you.
Oh yeah, he's freaking out right now. Terry's definitely scared. So he's definitely going double. So first one should hit.
Yeah, you rolled double 13s, those are both hits for sure.
Yeah, second one is a 2, so
That'll
that
hit
should hit.
Davros.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Third
a
one will
hit.
be 19.
And
And
then
then
that's gonna hit
3.
Davros.
All right, so 24 against the creature, magic damage.
Alright, wait a second though. What is your modification? What is it, +5? So it's 10 and 14?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So the 10 first.
Yeah, but that's 5 and 7 versus you, so it's just basically still not a 1.
Okay, so he's good on damaging himself, and then the
Yep,
actual damage to Davros too.
yep.
So did both these hit Davros or did one hit Jinx?
No, both hit you. I said only in that one would hit you.
So 9 and 10, so 19 total damage to Davros.
I mean, as far as things go here, though, you guys basically see Terry is just straight slashing, like, in an absolute, like, circle around himself. Just absolute wildly. Whoops, it's not in the area I wanted, but. That's like where Terry's sword is basically flying right now. It's like a zone of death around Terry.
And then Neffy's gonna try to heal Davros again. So roll another D12, Justin.
all right, 8 that time.
And then roll a D6. Roll a 1.
Ooh, yes, a
There you
1.
go.
Nice. Okay, so it is 2d4 plus 3 hit points doubled. Just the dice get doubled though. So roll 2d4.
All right, so it's be 11 total then.
Yeah, yeah. So 11 total. That's it for my crew.
I'll go to Davros.
All right, so now Davros is, he realizes, this is not Terry's fault, but he does not want to be. So he is going to. So the first potion that Neff gave him, they gave him a flying speed. That's not negated by this healing potion, right? Or is it only
Oh,
one
yeah,
effect
you
at a
have
time?
a flying speed, I think, for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure it was not like one effect at a time. So he is going to take off up into the air and kind of flying over to the other side to get away from Terry's flailing. And then kind of as he's coming down, he's going to keep. He's still attack. He's going to keep taking. He's going to take 2 swings at this thing. But he just wants to get away from the from Terry. So he'll take 2 attacks. 13 is the low one.
13 actually is a miss. Its AC is 14.
Okay, so 1 hit for 9 damage.
Terry, make a save for 4, just a not 1.
He's good.
All right, that's it for Davros. So he's kind of like hovering in the air, but not like super high off the ground.
Yeah, I figure the depth, like the height of this room, probably doesn't really allow you much to fall. But you are approximately at the height of floor, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think you can get higher than like leaving this creature's range, so I don't think that's a risk. What would you like to do with Seamus and or floor?
Yeah, Seamus is going to. Yeah, he's just gonna stab out at this thing again. I think he's got a +8, so I think that actually hits. 14, you said, right?
Sounds good. Yeah.
And then his is going to be for 12 damage total.
Describe to me where Seamus is attacking this thing, like how he's striking at it.
So I feel like as a cut purse, he's probably a little more compared to like someone like Davros. He's a little more surgical with his strike. So he is like he knows about how big Terry is. So he's trying to essentially stab this thing's mass, like right, almost like right behind. Like if it had a face, like he would almost be going to stab it in the neck, like where the maw has swallowed Terry, like right behind that. Trying to at least.
Can you guys kind of see what I drew, like just to the south of this?
No, I
Oh no,
can.
it's behind the. Give me 1 second. Damn. So if you imagine that's the cauldron, the thing is like consuming Terry's head. You're like stabbing just beyond his head, basically.
Yeah, like kind of right up in the like 2 squares below. Yep, like right there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so as Seamus kind of like aims this strike, just trying to make sure that he's as far away from Terry, for what it's worth, he's going to kill it here. I'm not going to make us transfer the damage. Um, as immediately, like Seamus like pierces into it with his blade, and the like animating characteristic of this tar is just going to immediately dissipate, and immediately there's just like a splashing as it almost like loses all of its viscosity and just turns into like almost flowing black water, splashes down, splashes some of it into back into the actual cauldron, but the cauldron's no longer like bubbling forth and like boiling over. It just has like flowing water kind of coming to rest in it, splashes down on the ground, leaves like a dark black sort of residue, but otherwise no characteristic of, like the physical matter that could like bite into Terry, that could hold itself in like these gravity defying ways. All of that is immediately lost as it just turns into this liquid and splashes down into the ground.
Gotcha. And is the cauldron, I would assume, given its size, probably too big to try to like tip? Because like Davros is thinking, when we came into the room, we saw these things kind of like surrounding this liquid. He's almost thinking like maybe they were doing some sort of ritual, and he almost wants to like, if there's like even any liquid left in that cauldron, he wants to essentially like, if it's physically feasible, almost like try to tip it over and just splash the remnants of this stuff like scattered along the ground to like, with the idea that maybe that'll
I
prevent.
don't think I don't think that's absurd to think that Davros could flip this, and like once the others see him starting to do it, that others wouldn't like either try to dissuade you or simply help you. So I would say as you guys start to see Davros like lifting this cauldron to like splash it over and discard the liquid. Does anybody stop him? Do you guys assist him? What do we think of a team about spilling away the water or the remains?
Like how tall is like the rim of the cauldron from say like the ground, for instance?
I kind of imagine it say like roughly about like waist height, so say like 3.5, 4 feet. To like Terry, he would like climb up to it. To everybody else, you're looking down into it.
So depending on the time frame from when this creature dies and Terry is released to when Davros starts to like tip this over, at some point in time you see a little stream of yellow liquid from the other side of the cauldron into this cauldron as Terry takes a leak on this thing for trying to bite his head off.
Terry starts to pee into the cauldron.
And if you wait, he'll help you afterwards. But right now he's just blatantly Calvin and Hobbesing it.
Yeah, I think Davros, if he sees Terry, I assume he has to like almost climb up onto it. He will stop trying to tip it until Terry is finished.
He's pissed, literally. Oh, and where'd you end up hit point wise after that? Are you bloodied? Are you okay now?
He is not bloodied. He's still okay.
Okay, okay.
How are you feeling right now, Chris? Are you good if we kind of continue on for a little bit here, like for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'm good.
Gotcha. So this did a pretty good job of extending into things. Um, and as far as things go here, this is sort of where I would put it to you guys. Like, you can definitely tilt over and spill out the cauldron. Are you looking to follow this hallway that extends off to the east of you? Are you looking to double back? What sort of thoughts do you guys have about how you progress forward here?
So Davros is still thinking he'd rather not risk coming into contact with that thing that kind of dropped a number of us back on the ground floor. So he'd be for continuing on into this hallway with the idea of hoping to find like some other way out or yeah, something like that.
So yeah, I think Jinx would probably like be like miming or hand signaling whether we should just go down this hallway and see what's down there, or if we want to go back and try to kill the three like goat demons.
Yeah, I think Gale is definitely signaling for getting like moving further away from here. Like definitely with Daverson just moving further in, hoping to get a way out.
Yeah, so Jinx would just nod in agreement then, and I'd be down for the hallway then. That's what you guys are thinking.
And I guess Davros before he goes to start tipping it over again after Terry, he would look back towards Gale and Neff because Gale tried to basically kind of use the stir. He'll almost like kind of mime the same motion, almost trying to ask like, do you want a sample before I tip this over, or do you want to try to like is this something like they want to study? Is kind of what he's getting at before he returns to trying to tip over the cauldron.
I could certainly save at least some of it. It's perhaps worth investigating. I believe, though, whatever it was is no longer, but I can certainly save some. Neffy can pull out a vial and take a sample of the liquid. and everybody will see like as she dips like a um uh yeah, why can't I think of the little like vials, what they're called? But as she dips a vial into it, the glass just goes beneath the surface, breaks the surface tension, liquid flows in. She pulls out a relatively dark grayish water, but it's not acting the same as when Gale first went to like touch it with a stirrer and it was like recoiling from the glass. Its surface tension was broken, just like dipping something into water.
Test tube, is that what you were thinking?
Test tube is indeed what I was attempting to think of.
All right, so are we ready to head down this hallway? You said there's kind of like a glow coming from down like the far end.
My point was that you effectively see a hallway that goes off into the distance of your light. There was nothing to tell you that the hallway led anywhere other than just sort of like straight ahead kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, if you guys are prepared to leave here, that's where I'm going to twist this kind of towards a wrap up. As far as things go, may I please have you all roll a d20 for me?
11.
1.
19.
Well played. One over an average of 10. 1 through 10 was one thing, 11 through 20 was the other. So yeah, as you guys progress forward here, you are going to walk for some hours. You guys are eventually going to start to feel yourselves climbing as the actual temperature of this place changes. It's no longer sort of warm. You slowly start to notice that the loud bangs and booms and the cacophony of the Mrathrak machine is left behind you. There's not too many turns. There's not too many like places to like divert off of just this long hallway that just seems to travel on until sometime later you reach a set of staircases, and you can start climbing up, and eventually you guys are going to surface into an apartment in, I believe, Old Town. Give me one moment. I feel like they changed how the maps work again. Oh, there we go. I was on the map thing, not my scenes. My apologies. Definitely change it again. Still doesn't feel like it's loading. I don't know. I don't know. Is my internet messed up? Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I gotcha. It feels like Owlbear is not reacting to me trying to switch the scene back to Old Town so I can show you guys where we're coming up. So perhaps we're just going to skip over that till next time. Or if it loads while I'm talking. So you guys are going to ascend a little bit closer to like Dalengard, which is sort of the west side of Old Town. It is the old like fortress that was at the immediate like feet of the extra ascension into the Noble District. And I think you're a little bit south of Dalengard. As you guys ascend, though, you're going to come up into sort of a like subsurface kind of like cellar at first. There'll be a lock there that in the long run, a lot of times like locks are just an amount of time spent. If Chris felt like knocking, perfectly fine. Part of that role was basically to see if the person who inhabits this place is there when you guys arise. Um, as far as things go railroad wise, I'm gonna say you guys don't see anything that piques your interest, but I will certainly give you guys the option to come back here when we have a full amount of time to explore what is basically going to be known as the White Apartment Building in Old Town. And again, this is just where this tunnel ascends from. So you guys have descended in the apartment buildings on the north side near the Pythonese house, and you went through like that sewer system into the old ruins, into the Marathrak machine, and you've come up south of that near the white apartment, and you've come out, and that's where we'll basically allow you guys, like in a full session, if you want to interact with the white apartments, you can come back to that. But at present, we're basically going to bring you all back up to the surface. There was no encounter coming back up to really know or think. Um, if there is any suspicion about investigating this house, we'll put it on purely that this house was locked from the outside, leading to this place where you guys know it comes to the bottom of the Mrathrak machine. So while the house doesn't necessarily give you signs, today, there's plenty of reason that you might want to come back later because clearly whoever lives in this place has a backdoor entrance into this chaos cult thing. So I hope it's satisfactory for me to say there is that railroad there of you guys don't see anything and you do leave under the like lack of anybody being there. But we'll basically pick up with that in a future session here. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, because we have no idea who this belongs to, so I wouldn't want to. I mean, we have no idea someone if like sticks around. So I would say, yeah, like it would make sense that we get out and then maybe can return or do research or something like at a later date.
Yeah, and like if you guys had rolled below a 10, you would have been forced to like actually encounter this person. So please don't misunderstand me. If you guys want to pick up next week going through the place, that is entirely viable. Um my point of the roll was to see if there was that random encounter and you were forced to do something with the person being there. But at present, you guys are welcome to essentially escape without any further difficulties. So it is a perfectly fine option if you want to pick up next week there. But I'm going to say, unless you disagree, that you do leave without like doing a full investigation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine with me. Did you say above a 10? So we literally rolled like 31 between us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one and the 11, I was just like, oh shit. So the 19 was necessarily what you needed to roll, a 19 or a 20 to make that a successful like leaving without the encounter. But yeah, this is effectively like that is the end of the chapter before the last one, as far as this is like a written adventure. We haven't played the adventure like strictly how it's designed. Um, but yeah, you guys are coming close to the theoretical end of this.
yeah, that was cool. Definitely curious to find out at some point who this apartment belongs to, but for now, I say uh, just get out while we can.
Yeah, that undead encounter at the end could have been a lot different, I feel like. That was crazy.
Yeah, both of those, because the creature in the cauldron It was again one of those things where like, I'm reading like its abilities, and I'm like, oh, it's like main AoE attack is a moan. Any creature that could hear it, and I'm like, God damn, because it was a throwaway thing that I started to say, you guys are walking down this long hallway, and everything is getting louder and louder and louder as you're moving towards the machine. That was a throwaway statement that I thought was a cool way of describing the Mrath Trek machine. Never once did I think about what kind of ramifications getting rid of sound would have on a game. I thought it was incredibly fun because you don't get to just do that. That's like having a swimming session where you're like fighting underwater and all of a sudden, like, piercing weapons aren't affected by it, but slashing weapons are at disadvantage. Like, it was a cool twist, but holy shit, are there a lot of ramifications of saying there's no sound here?
Yeah, like 75% of like my skills and abilities require the person to like hear you. So it's definitely like crazy mix up for me.
But yeah, I don't know if that's the type of thing that you'll ever have an opportunity again to play where you're like in a place that doesn't have sound. You know, guns can cause you to go deaf like temporarily if you're really thinking about it and you like make the con saves. But like I don't think I've ever thought about like running something like that. But I was just like, yeah, massive fucking machine that you're gonna head towards. Let's make it just ungodly loud.
Yeah, the only other scenario I can think of is if like somebody casts a silent spell. But other than that, yeah, it's definitely not something you see every day.
Well, and then you imagine how much actual real estate that you covered under the idea that you couldn't see it. Silent spells, it's usually like, okay, I'm gonna move 15 feet to the left. Whoa, I can hear again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is like an entire huge underground chamber that's just like deafening noise. Yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like sometimes those are it's just a lot of fun to like have that like extra level of like, how do you communicate? Like and almost make like the rogues like better at it because they're used to using thieves can't. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes those are like fun things, and that's why it was such a throwaway comment. Like, how do you describe things with the five senses? Why don't we ever block off sound? Yeah, I'm gonna make it ungodly loud.
yeah. And it just, at least for me, like it increases the foreboding of, and like the it makes this thing seem even more dangerous than like it otherwise would be, just because of like, you figure like, okay, like we traveled all this distance, it's obviously put down here, I guess, to like avoid the sound from like giving it away above ground. But you have to imagine, like, if it's creating this much sound, like in this large of an area, like how much power is contained within it, and what happens if that power somehow gets out, or somebody puts it to use in a bad way. So definitely kind of increases the uh, danger, I guess, at least for my, almost like it's almost like a nuclear reactor kind of level thing. Like if it melts down or something, it's like game over.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was definitely cool to like mix it up and do something like different with sound and everything. Like you said, I don't think there's like enough experiences where they take away like senses. It was also cool because then it made it so like if you didn't have like sight, you were more like in danger of like being separated even if you were like fairly close to each other. So it definitely changed like how you play the game and everything. And then also like after a few sessions of being in that situation, it feels like a relief that like we're no longer going to be in that situation too. So
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, all of those are make me really happy that you guys like enjoyed the aspects of it, and it's also part of why I didn't want to make it like punishing, where it's just like, no, you can't use any spell, because like I don't know, I didn't want it to like shut down the spell keeper like it was an anti magic field, because that's a whole other thing. Like, let's see what it does. Let's see how it makes us like appreciate the different ways things can play. But yeah, like all throughout it, it's like, oh yeah, once the first of the Venom thralls sees them, it's gonna scream out to the others. And I was like, fuck, I made it cacophonously loud. I can't have it call to all the others. So imagine when you guys encountered the first one, if that was a call to arms that all of them swarmed on you. Because that's kind of what's supposed to happen. But I liked how it played because, like, it allowed it to be, like, when something bad happened, you, like, fall past other ones and they have a chance to notice you. So it was just like when shit went down, all of a sudden you had, like, 3 or 4 of them on you. And I think that made a lot of really cool fights instead of, like, one just perhaps, like, epically godly fight.
Yeah, I like the whole descending down and yeah, having to kind of fight as we go, and people falling, and yeah, I thought that was yeah. And we did the Old Town map just loaded for me like a minute
Yeah,
ago.
I had to, like, drag it out, and drop it almost like I was putting it on a new. It's really weird, like, to have, like, the scenes work like that versus before they were, like, on the right side of my screen and I just double clicked and it switched. It felt like I was about to drop it, though, onto the map, like it was gonna add a second one to the same image.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, I got to run. But thank you for kind of
Really? I'm glad you arrived when you did. We delayed for a few minutes and I was like, let's get it started. And then I had a Bluetooth issue and you arrived. So we really didn't actually like, I mean, we probably lost a little bit of time, but in the long run, that's often like just kind of cutting it up and recapping time.
okay.
So
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
glad.
everything flowed quite well. But I'm definitely glad you guys were all able to make it. Um, it's always weird every time something like cancels for any reason. You're like, please don't let this be the spiral of death. Let's finish off this campaign.
Yeah, and I should be good for next weekend. Because I'm moving on Friday, but I should have like my internet and everything set up in the new place by Sunday. But if I run into any unforeseen issues, I will let you know. But for now, I should be good for next weekend.
Sounds good. I hope you have a wonderful and as seamless as possible move. I'm looking to buy a house pretty soon here, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of moving pieces, but hopefully it all comes together. So
Well, I hope you have a good night here, Chris. Justin and Justin, thanks for showing up, all three of you. Much appreciated. I really enjoy getting to run this. So thank you as always for being some great players. I can't wait for next week. I can't wait for you guys to finally track down Lunatod and this the King of the Barbarians, because I know you're constantly like, wait, didn't we have a mission? You guys have not missed anything. It's supposed to be out of your grasp this whole time.
Oh yeah. All right. Later, gents. It was fun as always. Good luck with the move, Justin. Hopefully it's not too much of a backbreaker. Catch you guys next week.
yep. Thanks. Catch you guys next week.
Yeah, see you in a week.